Procrastination is very common these days. Simply means we delay in doing something that is important. Although we know it is important, I'm sure you are familiar with your inner voice telling you that I will just do it tomorrow, maybe later. Well, I just don't feel like doing this today. So in this video, we are going to talk about what is procrastination, why we procrastinate, and 8 ways to beat procrastination. So be sure to watch till the end. Firstly, I must declare that I'm not an expert in the field of procrastination. I just learned about the procrastination from videos and podcasts by Ali Abdal, Better Ideas, and some studies over the internet with the help of Google, as I procrastinate a lot lately and I have to deal with it. So my channel is all about learning and growing together, where I make videos as I learn, mainly about personal growth and personal development. So be sure to subscribe if you are into this. Let's start with what is procrastination. Procrastination is a form of delay, where people call this voluntary delay in an intended action. It is not like somebody asks you to stop doing this and do something else. We know it is important. We know we have to do it, but yeah, I will just do it tomorrow. Maybe on the weekend. Oh, I have a date over the weekend. Maybe next week. And you see, procrastination typically do not have a real purpose. We have something called purposeful delay, where there is a purpose on delaying something. Maybe something more important with higher priorities come in, then we have to deal with that and delay this. Or maybe you have a major internet breakdown in your area. Then you are not able to have the online meeting with your client. You are forced to wait until the internet connections recovered. But procrastination does not involve with any of these circumstances. Simply mean we choose not to start doing, or we start doing but did not finish it. And there's no such thing as good procrastination. At least this is what I think after some studies, because I saw some debates over the internet about good procrastination. Well, I guess we don't call this procrastination if it is good, because procrastination always carry harmful consequences. We always relate procrastination to performance and productivity, where we won't be able to perform well and be productive if we procrastinate. But it goes beyond that. It will also bring anxiety, stress, pressure, and all the other negative emotion in us, because in our head, we always know that there is something important on the line that we have not finished. And these negative emotions are the recipes to harm our health and well-being. And for sure, you know that guilty is the feeling that is always attached with procrastination, where we know we should be doing exercise instead of lying on the bed doing nothing. We know we should be doing schoolwork instead of playing video games. But despite feeling guilty, you still do it anyway. Why? So why we procrastinate? We don't procrastinate on doing the fun things, right? Watching Netflix, playing video games, hanging out with friends. We procrastinate on the tasks that we don't feel like doing. You see, the tasks that we procrastinate are not necessarily very hard to do. Often, we even know what to do and how to do it, but we are just not taking any action to make progress. It is more like there is a kind of feeling and emotion that we attach to the task. The task might not be difficult, but we think it is. So we attach difficult and hard to do to the task. Or maybe when you are very busy at work, overloaded with all the crazy tasks, and your boss still come to you and ask you to take in yet another project, then you get frustrated, although you have all the skills and abilities to do it. But the feeling of frustration is attached to the task. You just don't feel like doing it. Although eventually you know you have to do it at some point, but you will feel like, nah, I will just do it later. I will just do it tomorrow. Or maybe when you are lack of knowledge on the task, you lose confidence and fear kicks in. Fear of failure and anxiety will also make you procrastinate and choose to do the simple task instead. You might still look very busy and productive, but actually none of the important task is done. A part of fear, alright, emotion like sadness will also cause procrastination. You can relate to this, right? When you are in sadness, you just don't feel like doing anything at all. So the point here is that procrastination is largely attached to our moods, feelings, and emotions towards a particular task. We just have that resistance in us, the negative force that stops us from doing the important task. We know it is important, but we just don't feel like doing it today. And you see, the part of least resistance is the default path of our brain. And we all love rewards, right? And procrastination also brings rewards. The reward is that we will get the immediate emotion relief. We will feel good at that moment. Despite knowing how important is a task, we will tell ourselves, relax. It's not like I will cancel out the job. I will just do it tomorrow. I will just do it later. So a general rule to remember is that the stronger the resistance. The more that you don't feel like doing it, then you should just do it because it will be the right and important task to do. And lastly, another problem that we are facing is the future me problem. Alright, we are just so bad at estimating how good or how bad is our future self. Alright, whenever we don't feel like doing something, automatically we will think about our future self. Our future me will just take care of it. Future me will be better at doing the things. Then how can we beat procrastination? Well, I was thinking, can we really beat procrastination? If it is largely attached to our moods and emotions, but surely there are ways to deal with it. Let's find out. Number 1, eat the frog first. Something that I found very interesting is about the story of eating the frog first. And yeah, if you have a job of eating a frog every day, if it is part of your job, then do it first in the morning before you start doing anything else. And yeah, I know it is disgusting, but if you don't eat the frog today, you will have 2 frogs to eat tomorrow. You have 7 frogs to eat after a week, and imagine after 1 month. When you don't get the important task done first, it will stay in your mind all the time until you get it done, and this will also affect you in doing some other tasks as well. So get rid of it first. It is like what I learned from the book The 5 AM Club. Alright, the author mentioned to do exercise first in the morning. Health is very important for us, and we need to do exercise. Many of us procrastinate in doing exercise, myself included. So when we get rid of it first, we do the exercise first in the morning, we know the important task is already done. Alright, our willpower is stronger in the morning and slowly deplete as we deal with all the crazy tasks throughout the day. And with the important stuff done first, we can then focus better on all the other tasks. So remember, when you have an important and difficult task to do it first in the morning when your willpower is stronger. Number 2, manage emotions, not time. Procrastination is never a time management issue. As we discussed earlier, it is largely attached to the moods and emotion on the task that we are procrastinating. Look into the mood involved. Manage your emotions towards the particular task. We always overthink and overestimate the outcomes of a certain task and action. But when we learn to deal with our emotions, our fear, we can then have a better confidence on doing the task. And when you start doing it, deal with it, most of the time, you will realize that it is not as hard as you thought. You might even think, alright, I should have done this earlier. So look into the move involved and the emotion that you attach to the task. Number 3, action leads to motivation. We always wait for motivation to start doing something. We think that without motivation, we just can't start doing something because we are not inspired to do it. But you see, motivation is not constant. You can be highly motivated after watching an inspiring video on YouTube, but later in the day, the motivation fades away. Motivation is strong when you experience something new until it is not new anymore. Many of us think that motivation leads to action and then more motivation, but the real equation is that action first. Action leads to motivation and then more motivation. It is like, before I start writing the script of this video, I feel overwhelmed because I know I have a lot to write, but I cannot wait for the motivation to come. So I get myself started to write the script. So once I started, I write for hours and hours and eventually feel motivated enough to finish up the script in one go. So to solve the procrastination problem, solve the getting started problem. Don't fall into the trap of I will do it later, I will do it tomorrow, I will do it when I feel like it, because you won't actually feel like it. Number 4, design your environment. Here we are talking about physical and digital environment. You see, when your work desk is very messy, you couldn't locate anything. It is so painful to see all the clutters everywhere, right? And this will affect your mood and leads to procrastination. So clean away all the clutters on your workspace and work desk with everything clean and tidy. This will boost your performance and productivity. And of course, don't place the Nintendo Switch on your work desk because that will distract you. So the key point here is not only to clear away all the clutters, but also remove the distraction from your work desk. Alright, only place those things that are going to help you with your work on your work desk. As for digital environment, a simple method here is to turn off the notification of your phone so that you won't keep on checking your phone. Because you see, notification is what triggers you to pick up your phone, and you know how easy to get distracted once you pick up your phone. You might think that I just want to quickly reply one message, I want to quickly check on Instagram. It won't actually take much time. But when you think about it again, when you are doing something very important, Usually you need deep focus, and you cannot reach the deep focus state if you are distracted every 5 minutes. You stop working every 5 minutes. To get into the flow, you need to have continuous focus. Number 5, the deep why. Find the deeper purpose on why you are doing certain tasks. Usually we think that why we have to work, and then we quickly come up with a very short answer. We have to make more money. But all the important tasks in your life usually come with a deeper purpose. Why we work? To make more money. Why? To have more savings. To build better security in life. Why? To ensure my family have a better life. Why we exercise? To be healthier. Why? To make sure that I'm fit to work every day. Why? To ensure I can work and feed my family. So next time, when you ask yourself again why you work and exercise, you will have a deeper and a more meaningful purpose and intention. And this will boost your mood to do better, because when you have a weak intention, you are more likely to procrastinate. Number 6, 2 minutes rule. As I learned from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, just do something for 2 minutes and then stop. If you can't seem to get yourself to start exercise, just do stretching for 2 minutes and then stop. If you can't seem to get yourself to start reading books, just read for 1 page and then stop. I know this might sound a little bit tricky, because ultimately, we know that our goal is not to only read 1 page a day. Our goal is not to do stretching for 2 minutes. But the point here is to train yourself to keep showing up, no matter you're in good mood or bad mood. Reading 1 page a day, doing 2 minutes of stretching will not be a difficult task to do, and it will slowly become your habit. Just think about this as momentum, alright? Momentum. Initially, it is rolling very slow, but over time, it will gain more momentum and it will roll faster and further if you can show up every single day to do 2 minutes of stretching. Up until a point, you might think that might as well I just do some exercise because I've already been doing stretching every day. If you can show up and read 1 page every day, over time, you will think about, why don't I read more? You will just eventually read more and more because you are already reading every single day. So there's 2 ways to look about this, the 2 minutes rule. Number 1 is do something for 2 minutes and then stop. Or if you found something that can be done within 2 minutes, just do it right away. Number 7, implementation intentions. This is like, if X happens, I will do Y and then I will do Z. This is kind of like the habit stacking that James Clear mentioned in his book. So for me, every morning, after I make my morning drinks, I will pull out my book and start reading. After that, I will write my journal. You see, instead of relying on my willpower to do something, I attach the important task, because reading book is very important for me to create all this kind of content. So I attach the important task to the task that I already been doing every single day, which is my breakfast. And you should definitely try this, because this will be very useful. One action lead to another. Just attach the important task that you need to do to the task that you've already been doing every single day. But you must remember, when you plan your task, you need to be as specific as possible. Alright, when you are going to do it, at what time, where's the place, and what is the specific action that you need to do. Number 8, confront your distractions. I learned this from the video by Better Ideas, and I personally cannot recommend this much, but I think it will work in some way. Just imagine you bought the latest iPhone 15 online, and it mentioned that it will arrive within 3 days. So for the next 3 days, you just cannot focus on your work because you are just so excited to get your brand new iPhone. As much as you tell yourself, I need to focus on my work, you just can't stop that iPhone 15 keep on popping out from your head every now and then. You just can't focus on your work. So what you can do is set a time between 15 to 20 minutes to intentionally deal with your distraction. No matter you want to check the delivery status of your iPhone or you want to quickly check your Instagram, just do it and then come back and focus on your work. This might not be a great idea, but I think it will work in some way, because we are trying to get rid of the distraction instead of letting the distraction run in our mind. Alright, so that's it for this video. This is quite a long one. So if you are still staying up until this point, please comment down there on what you have learned from this video so that I know you watched till the end. As usual, I hope my video benefit you in some way, and let's learn to beat procrastination together so that we can do better in our life. Hit the like button if you think this video is helpful, share it to your friends and family, and subscribe if you haven't already. Seriously, it means a lot to me. As usual, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!